Bonjour, bonjour, c'est Egon, bienvenue dans ce nouvel épisode des Piliers de la Terre. Alors normalement tout est bon, on va pouvoir partir pour la suite de ce chapitre 15 du livre 3. Ah, on va prendre la suite donc de la coupure impromptue de la semaine du précédent épisode. D'ailleurs je me souviens même plus. Qu'est-ce qu'on devait faire déjà? Les chorus, c'est déjà qui est ici. Alors attendez, je vais une dernière minute. Le son machin, l'image est là. Ok.
Buenos dias. Do you understand me?
Sinto ben, pero non temos camas dispoñibles.
No, I don't need a room. I was told a friend of mine stayed here some time ago. A red-haired Englishman called Jack. Do you remember him?
Eu só che falo en galego, miña rula.
Français? English?
Ok, on n'arrive pas à se comprendre. Une auberge parmi tant d'autres pour les pèlerins. On m'a dit que Jack avait dormi ici.
Have you seen a man called Jack Builder? Jack? He's a mason.
Jack?
Yes, have you seen him?
Pásanche por aquí centos de peregrinos e cada un eche de seu pai. Vas ter que ser algo máis específica.
I don't understand.
Il y a personne qui va venir m'aider. Oui. Donc là, la cathédrale. Une autre cathédrale. Jacques est peut-être venu ici. Il ne semble jamais s'enlacer. Voilà. Ça, l'hôtelière. Déjà.
He's sleeping. I mustn't wake him.
Il dort. Ah bon? Ah non, c'est pas ça que j'ai fait, hein. Oui. On peut pas s'en servir, ça non plus. Là. Je vois pas comment faire. Hein.
I was told that Jack stayed here, but how can I make myself understood?
Ouais. Je me demande aussi. Parce que là, est-ce qu'on peut revenir en arrière? Non, apparemment, bizarre, il n'y a pas de flèche pour me dire vous pouvez revenir en arrière. Ah bah, j'ai coupé le son maintenant. Ouais.
I'm looking for a man who likes to read a lot.
E logo anda sempre cun libro en riba.
Have you seen anyone like that?
Pero, por que levas un libro en riba? Vas descangallar co peso.
She doesn't even understand that I'm looking for a person yet.
Super.
I already tried that. No one has seen or heard about Jack.
Ouais, mais je peux pas rentrer dedans. Alors là, il y a un souci quelque part, il y a un truc que je comprends pas.
Que cousiña, eche rubio.
See, redhead. Have you seen his father, Padre del Niño? Jack Builder?
Ven sendo un peregrino?
What?
É un peregrino?
Est-ce que c'est un pèlerin?
No, no. He's not a pilgrim.
Entón, quen ven sendo?
He's a mason.
Ai, mal rayo me partas, entendo o que me estás a contar.
Let me show you something. He's a mason. He builds things like that.
Ah, eche masón. Albanel.
Sí, a mason. It's the same word in Galician.
Por aquí pasan unha morea de masóns. Non me poderías dicir algo máis sobre el?
Oín falar dun masón que dis que se dedica a traducir libros en Toledo.
Polo visto, di que se chama Jack.
Yes, Jack. Have you seen him?
Non sei cal será o seu apelido, pero ben é certo que non chai moitos masóns rubios aos que lles guste ler. Se tan desesperada está, por que non vai a Toledo a comprobalo por si mesma?
Entón, marchou para Toledo.
Are you certain you've seen my Jack?
Di que o teu Jack podería estar en Toledo.
All right, so I will go to Toledo then. Gracias. I just pray that I
Gracias.
understood you correctly.
Ouais, j'espère que t'as bien compris qu'on n'est pas pour rien à Tolède. Ah, on va d'abord s'arrêter ici. Pourquoi tu continues? Un mois après avoir quitté Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle.
Buenos dias. Parlez-vous français? English?
Parlez-vous
course.
français?
How may I help you?
I was told a man named Jack Builder lives in this house.
Who told you this?
A group of scholars living at the edge of town. They said he used to translate old scriptures about mathematics before he moved here.
Please wait here. I will talk with Master Rashid.
Quelle fontaine merveilleuse, on dirait presque une véritable source. Maison si grande et lumineuse, rien à voir avec les maisons de chez nous. Pourquoi le serviteur me fait-il attendre? Entrée, ça j'ai vu. Arc-bouté, Jacques doit les adorer. Et s'il ne souhaite pas repartir?
Ah, it's his.
Qu'est-ce donc? Un oiseau artificiel relié à... Je ne saurais dire quoi. Qu'est-ce donc? Donc ça c'est bon. très élaboré. Je n'ai jamais vu de pareil. Jack adorerait cet endroit. Très trésor minutieux, il n'y a rien dessus. C'est beau travail, il paraît bien plus réel qu'une peinture.
Oh, there you are. May I ask who let you stroll around our house? I travelled hundreds of miles looking for a man called Jack Builder. A scholar told me that I would find him here.
Yes, my servant told me already. My father's not here at the moment, so you'll have to make do with me. Unfortunately, I must disappoint you. There's no one called Jack living in this house.
He must be here. I found his slingshot.
What? Who allowed you inside my father's archive?
I didn't mean to be disrespectful of your hospitality.
I just hope for your sake you didn't touch anything. Every piece in there is precious to my father, even that slingshot.
Slingshot.
I'm sorry, but this is not easy for any of us. I think you should know that Jack and I are promised to each other. Maybe we should go inside. The sun's burning, and my mother doesn't need to hear us. Jack told me about you. You are Aliena. You're the one who rejected him and married his stepbrother. And now you want him back.
I need my son to meet his father.
His father? The little one is Jack's son.
He is.
He always said that he had come here to find out about his family. But instead, he found out about everything else. About philosophy, mathematics. When he and my father met, it was love at first sight. They studied together and made great plans. But in the end, Jack would always start talking about his cathedral again. This great church he would build one day. Rib vaults and pointed windows. He'd ramble on about it for hours and stare up at that ceiling. We three sat here for hours and talked, and then in the evenings it would be just the two of us. So many strange ideas about the future. Some barely more than silly dreams. Others almost in arm's reach.
Comme ici, il n'est plus là.
You're talking about him as if he were gone.
Well, he's not here anymore. My father had offered him work as a master builder here in Toledo. He would have been well off and free to spend his evenings under vaults like this, with me as his wife. But in the end, he refused. Tell me, did you really marry his stepbrother?
It was the hardest decision I ever made. But it also felt like a sacrifice I had to make to fulfill a promise I made to my father. It was all for nothing. I thought I had no choice. I didn't want to hurt him. Believe me.
I do. You know, he left me because of you. Even after all you did to him, he couldn't let go.
He can have that effect on people.
But apart from that, we made our peace with him. Father even gave him one of his favorite pieces of his collection as a parting gift. A small wooden statue with stone eyes in exchange for his slingshot.
Would you mind telling me where he went?
He went to Paris to work on the Cathedral of Saint-Denis. He said he never found out about his father, so there was no reason to stay down here anymore.
Paris?
Yes. If you find him there, tell him I don't miss him.
Thank you, and all the best to your family.
Thank you. What is the child's name, by the way?
Well, he has none yet. I wouldn't name him without Jack.
Isn't that a bit silly?
Maybe. But he's his son as well as mine. It's his right to have a say in it too.
Then off to Paris. That baby needs a name.
He will get one. Thank you.
Ok, donc chemin inverse.
I travelled back along the way of St. James, passing through Astorga, Lyon and Burgos. I crossed the Pyrenees, revisiting Bordeaux, Angoulême, Poitiers, but never stayed longer than one night. The closer I came to Paris, the stronger my old doubts and fears resurfaced.
On se demande où elle a trouvé l'argent pour faire tout ce voyage.
If Jack really was there, what was I to say to him?
Je lui collerai une baffe. Faudrait qu'on discute calmement.
We had to hear each other out before we could walk on again, in whatever direction that would be.
Elle est long ce chapitre là. Ah, l'image disparaît de plus en plus. Elle aurait... Merde, elle aurait pu redonner ça. Il n'est pas ici, peut-être plus du tout ici. Alors, là, chantier. Non.
I can't just leave. Even if he doesn't want to see me, he deserves to see his son.
J'allais pas partir, hein, j'allais devant la cathédrale. Ouais.
If he's here, I'll find him on my own.
D'accord. Mais vu qu'il y a l'entrée... Non. Qu'est-ce que j'ai loupé alors? Ah, d'accord.
There. Are we awake then?
Ah, il est
You
là.
almost missed this.
C'était lui, non? Ah bah tiens.
Look at these colourful windows. Look at the light.
Ali,
We came to see you, Jack.
we... Is he...
He is your son.
My son?
I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. Ali, where do we go from here?
Wherever we go, I want to go with you.
Will you marry me? Both of you?
We will. We stayed in Paris as husband and wife. And our son, Tommy. The days went by quickly. Jack had learned much working as a builder in Saint-Denis. Days became months. Then after a year, we both grew restless. Where can we go from here, we asked ourselves again. We both confessed that we wanted to see our families, our friends. And then we knew where we wanted to go. Home. Even if it was in shambles.
We need to hurry. The ship to England will leave soon.
What's going on here?
Whatever it is, if the crowd doesn't clear up, we'll miss our ship. Excuse me?
What's going on here?
He's a thief. He told us lies and stole our money.
But isn't that just a simple jongleur?
That poor man. We need to help him.
What should we do with him?
Oh, he doesn't like it.
Neither do I.
We can't possibly push through. Not with the baby.
He's a thief. He's a thief. Do you know what's going on?
Oh, chaos. I can't get these people to calm down. God knows I tried.
What happened?
The jongleur told the crowd a few stories. Then he sold people some miracle charms, but it was just fairy tales and painted stones.
Well, it always is.
I know, but I'd need a real miracle to calm them down now. Otherwise, they'll rip him apart.
Don't listen to a word he says. I want my money back. This isn't the right place. No. This isn't the right place. Behold the Holy Virgin.
If it takes a miracle to make these fools stop, then give them one.
You're right. I have to make her weep. It's the only way. Could make the horse get their attention.
Or ride it through the crowd.
That sounds a bit dangerous, doesn't it?
You think?
Oh, what a remarkably foreign-looking likeness of the Holy Virgin.
Do you think this might calm them down?
I've already tried appealing to their faith. It would require a direct word from God to calm them down.
He's a thief. He's a thief. I can barely feed my family. Throw him into the sea. I want my money back. She doesn't do anything yet, but if I stood with her where it's colder... I want my money back. Do you see? It's working.
Your friend Rashid must be quite the miracle worker.
Look! What's going on? The Holy Mother. She's crying.
Revere the Holy Mother, for she has blessed us with a sign from the heavens. Cease your doings right now and witness the miracle.
It's true. Lord in heaven. Why is she crying?
She weeps for your sins. What has this man done to you that you would treat him like a wild animal?
He tricked us and took our coin.
And you would kill him for your own foolishness. The Holy Virgin weeps, for you are not living by the word of God.
It is the Mother of God.
Forgive us, Holy Mother. Where did she come from?
For hundreds of years, she languished in the land of the Saracens. Dormant, she has been waiting for the one to bring her home.
Listen to what he has to say. The Holy Virgin has chosen this young family to protect her. Tell us all where you are headed.
Her destination is beyond these waters. In the small town of Kingsbridge, in the earldom of Shiring. There she wants to rest.
Kingsbridge? Where's that?
Hail Mary!
Make way for the Holy Virgin!
Hallelujah!
Make Robert well!
Huh?
Blessed Mary, let my daughter conceive.
Give us a good harvest!
They're donating to ask for her blessing.
Oh. The weeping Madonna shall hear your prayer. And with your donations, I shall build her a new shrine at Kingsbridge, a cathedral.
It's you.
Who do you mean?
You, the red-haired ghost.
Me? A ghost?
My husband is very much alive. I've known him since he was 12 years old.
But he drowned. By God, you drowned.
24 years ago. On the white ship. My poor, poor son. My Jacques.
His name was Jacques?
Jacques Cherbourg.
Jacques Cherbourg.
So much has grown, but there are no roots, no herbs.
What are you looking at, Jonathan?
The garden is in disorder. I want it to be right again, but I don't know how to do it.
Before I became prior, I thought the same about Kingsbridge.
Well, what did you do?
I cleaned up.
Where do we start?
Some plants are weeds and must go before we can plant new seeds.
What are weeds?
They take away what the other plants need to grow. Light.
What do we do?
Pluck them. They look a lot like every other plant, so you need to learn how to tell them. Here, you see those? They're called wood sorrel. Let's pluck only those for now.
I'll do it.
If you insist. Make sure to pull out all of the thin roots.
And now what do I do?
For plants to take root, the soil must be loose and fertile.
So, may I dig now? Done. What's next?
Stay here. I'll be right back. Now, where did you put them? Ah, here they are. You always said you wanted to plant these seeds and make a new garden, Piliers. I think it's about time.
What did you bring?
Do you remember Milius? A kind man with a warm smile. Well, he told me to give you this.
Wow!
Now we just have to wait.
All right. How long?
Too long for us to keep sitting here.
That long.
Some things take time. And only with patience will you receive your reward.
Why do we have to do all these things if all we had to do is wait?
Simply waiting. You just paved the way. They are happening right now. And in a few days' time, we will Maybe.
Does he make things grow?
You.
No.
Now you can fetch some water from the rain barrel.
But that water's smelly. It's been there forever. There are many trees by the river. I bet that water's better.
That's a longer walk, though.
I don't mind. The distance is worth it.
Maybe you're right. It is worth it. Let's walk together, then.
But I'll carry the bucket.
Why isn't Remigius holding the sermon? What's gotten into Philip?
Our church lies in ruins. But all of this, these dire times, have revealed something important to us. Something that, maybe until today, I wasn't aware of.
What do you mean?
You've been praying in these ruins. But you've been praying like you always did, in humbleness. We don't need a church for prayer.
Where else are we going to pray? The chapter house? The church is where God resides.
God doesn't work in the ways we might assume. Today, Jonathan tended to our garden to make it beautiful again. And he told me of things I almost had forgotten. Good and evil are not in here or out there. They are within each of us. We have witnessed that man carries the devil in his heart. But even before he can take a hold of man, God is born within us, as we were created in his image. Prayer needs no special place, for we are his church. In our actions, he exists.
We are God's temple.
No man is closer to God than any other man. Whether you pray in church or on the streets of our towns, whether you're a man, woman, monk, or bishop.
Philip, look outside! ride. You have to see them. You've got to see the horses and the colours.
Jonathan. Now, what's going on?
I heard noises and I went to look.
Calm down. What happened?
But the priest said they brought a miracle.
Who? What? What priest?
Step right up, brothers and sisters. For you are about to see something that will change your life.
Who is that?
They brought us a miracle.
A miracle?
Don't be shy. There is no danger, just awe that awaits you here. Ah, you must be Prior Philip. I am Brother Reynold. I have been sent by the Archbishop of Canterbury. Here is his letter, in case you have reasonable doubts.
Minute, je reviens. Qu'est-ce que je disais? Je me suis approprié le miracle pour l'Angleterre et je comptais la garder à Winchester. Mais les gardiens de la Madone m'ont convaincu autrement. Ils ne sont pas venus en Angleterre que pour soutenir la construction de Kingsbridge. Vous avez une bénédiction, Philippe de Kingsbridge, j'attends de vous. Ok.
We've been charged to accompany the Weeping Madonna. She is to replace the loss of your relic, Saint Adolphus the Martyr, who was taken from you, I hear, with brute force.
What?
On her travel from far away Africa, she has collected donations to reward Kingsbridge for your faith in her and in the Lord.
I can't believe this. What is all this?
You do believe. That is why she came. And that is why you shall witness her miracle for yourself today. The Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa. A baptized Saracen was her former guardian, and I and the custodians of the Holy Virgin were chosen to take her on a journey.
What country did you say you came from?
We have traveled all the way from a place of wonders too marvelous to behold. The faraway land of Africa.
Africa has many countries, I've heard.
Yes, it does. I knew not her powers or destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles.
If what you brought us comes from such a wondrous place, it must be very impressive.
Indeed. Soon you too shall witness the miracle of the Holy Madonna. Many bore witness to her miracle before it dawned upon me. She wanted to go home, but where? It came to me in a dream. It was Kingsbridge. But I wondered, what shrine should be her shelter? This time, it was the Madonna herself who answered my questions. She said, "You shall build me a new church in Kingsbridge." So we set off, with the blessing of Archbishop Theobald of Canterbury. And along the road, from Paris, across Normandy, over the sea, and all the way to Kingsbridge. Devout Christians have given money for the building of the Church of the Weeping Madonna. This Church of Kingsbridge. The Weeping Madonna has chosen you, all of you. I will tell you again, dear brothers and sisters. The Weeping Madonna has chosen you.
Excuse me. Don't interrupt.
You must wonder, why was Kingsbridge chosen to be the home of the Holy Virgin?
Hey!
Shh! Now, brothers and sisters, I have heard that life has not been kind to Kingsbridge, but it is in places like these, and in dark times like these, that God's light shines brightest.
What is in this book will not help me more than the answers I can find in my own heart.
And along the road, from Paris, across Normandy, over the sea, and all the way to Kingsbridge, devout Christians have given money for the building of the Church of the Weeping Madonna. This Church of Kingsbridge. I will tell you again, dear brothers and sisters. The Weeping Madonna has chosen you, all of you. You must be thinking, how can he be so sure? In the beginning, I was not. I only had my faith. I knew not her powers or destination.
If what you brought us comes from such a wondrous place, it must be very impressive.
Indeed. Soon you too shall witness the miracle of the Holy Madonna. I will tell you again, dear brothers and sisters, the Weeping Madonna has chosen you, all of you. And I will tell you again, she is a true miracle that will change your life as she changed mine. Many bore witness to her miracle before it dawned upon me. She wanted to go home, but where? It came to me in a dream. It was Kingsbridge.
What's it like in Africa?
The sun is always shining. It's a land of great deserts, fig trees, and creatures that an Englishman can't even dream up.
Like these horses. Are they horses?
They are not. To you, they might resemble horses, but the name the Africans have for these creatures is impossible to pronounce, even for me. Now, brothers and sisters, I have heard that life has not been kind to Kingsbridge.
You mentioned
it looks like a straw.
The scripture mentions these figs.
No two apples look or taste.
I'm getting the impression that this man has never... But why would he lie?
You must be thinking, how can he be so sure? In the beginning, I was not. I only had my faith. I knew not her powers or destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles. You must be thinking, how can he be so sure? In the beginning, I was not. I only had my faith. I knew not her powers or destination. Nevertheless, I carried her for many miles. I will tell you again, dear brothers and sisters, the Weeping Madonna has chosen you.
Tell me the truth. Why are you here?
We are guardians of the Holy Virgin that sheds tears. We were appointed by the Archbishop of Canterbury, but it was the Holy Virgin herself who chose us while she travelled through Europe.
Oh, yes. How did that happen?
She speaks without words.
All of you! I will tell you again, dear brothers and sisters.
My dear people.
Oh, I'm so excited to see a true miracle.
Did you hear that? The Madonna has chosen us.
She's come all the way from Africa.
Personne
the
t'écoute.
Weeping Madonna has chosen you. All of you.
Porte la cuisine.
You heard me correctly. It was a long journey.
What do you think of this procession?
They seem well intended, and we could use the money.
The Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named
Brother
Africa.
Reynold. I've heard of a Reynold from the coast. A scheming drunkard who lives as a travelling monk.
You think that's him?
Perhaps it is, perhaps it's not. I don't trust him either way.
A baptized Saracen was her former
Jonathan?
guardian.
They're about to show the miracle. Look!
And I and the custodians of the Holy Virgin were chosen to take her on a journey.
Baptized?
A Saracen?
I could have continued to carry her from town to town until my flesh succumbed. But this was not her will. But I wondered, what shrine? This time, it was the Madonna herself who answered my questions. You heard? The Weeping Madonna came to me in a faraway land named Africa. A baptized Saracen was her former guardian. And I and the custodians of the Holy Virgin were chosen to take her on a journey.
Baptized?
A Saracen?
I could have continued to carry her from town to town until my flesh succumbed. But this was not her will. But I
Don't you want to see the miracle too?
what shrine should be her shelter. This time, it was the Madonna herself
Why are you
who answered
hiding?
my questions. I will tell you again, dear brothers and sisters, the Weeping Madonna has chosen
That's not
you,
fit for a shrine.
all of you.
Nothing sacred about this.
Now, brothers and sisters, I have heard that, but it is in places like these, and in dark times like these. Can you feel it, brothers and sisters? You are about to witness a miracle. The Madonna knows how you have suffered. Prior James left you before his time when you needed him the most. Your old cathedral was burned to the ground.
How do you know this?
And your new one collapsed even before construction was finished. You have suffered the ruthless destruction of your market, homes, and lives.
Dada!
All of you have lost husbands, wives, and children, family and friends.
Dada!
All of you know how it is to be hungry and afraid.
Jack. Aliena.
Philip.
But this is...
A miracle, isn't it? Or something along those lines.
But how?
We thought it was time to give Tommy a home.
The boy? Your boy?
Well, Philip, do you recognize him? Our little Tommy?
Tommy? But... It's been almost 3 years since I last saw you, Jack. Where on earth did you find him?
I'd almost given up looking for him. Then Tommy found him.
And you decided to come back?
Well, this is our home, after all.
Then what on earth is all this? This miracle?
With the Madonna, we were able to collect donations for your priory and for Kingsbridge.
Really?
We can start anew. We can rebuild the cathedral.
What's the catch?
I'll get to be master builder.
Why?
I've studied the cathedrals, churches, and houses they build in France and Spain. I saw how different their constructions were, with new shapes, colours, and ideas. Oh, you should have seen it. They combined rib vaulting and pointed arches. I want to do that. That's why.
Why here?
Because this is home.
The townspeople probably think that's enough to build a whole cathedral. But to me, it looks like about £100. You know, that won't even pay for a year's work.
Like all of this, it's a symbol. Enough for a fresh start.
And the Madonna will stay here. Kingsbridge will attract visitors and donations again.
You mean I should be thankful for these lies and tricks?
Jack! Aliena! You came back!
We wanted to see you, little sister.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. But look at you! And the little one!
Tommy.
How are the others?
Alfred left Kingsbridge. Catface shows up every now and then. And Ellen returned to the forest.
We need to visit her.
What's wrong, Mother?
I'm glad you're back.
I am too. Very glad.
She looks like she's about to cry.
She will weep for your suffering, Kingsbridge. She knows your pain.
What now?
The miracle.
Her eyes are wet.
Her
Right, look at her.
They're shining.
She cannot hold her tears any longer.
She is made of wood. It's impossible.
Why are you weeping? She is mute ever since her husband died.
The Madonna has suffered as I have. She understands.
Ah, je pense qu'il y avait un bug.
It seems through her faith in all of your lies, Mary has found a miracle. We can't keep trying to repair Kingsbridge by ourselves. Things are not improving. We're struggling to keep things as they are.
But we can't afford to hire help.
Without farming and fairs, we're back to Prior James's time.
All these past years, my advice was good enough for you. But it appears you've changed your mind now, again.
It is time we started doing something to wake up and make Kingsbridge what it used to be. We did before and we can do it again.
I'm not willing to accept a risk like that. Don't you remember what happened last time? My.
I remember well.
And still, you put your Philip, why in God's name have you... They're tricking us into giving them money for false...
They are giving us money.
So that we'll place this idol... Do you approve of this?
People need hope. And these... Yes, it is a deception, but with good intent. Mary speaks again. Is that not...
You fell for them. You really did. And now I'm warning you, I cannot support a prior who...
Your threat won't sway me. No matter how unconventional, their return and their gift are a blessing.
You made your decision, Philip of Gwynedd. I resign.
C'était couru d'avance.
You got so big, Tommy. And you're just as shy as your father was.
Don't let him fool you. Usually, he's always up to something.
Tom would have been proud of you. Of both of you.
Is she still here?
Hmm?
Tom's wife.
Oh, no. Martha and I moved her to Kingsbridge. She's with Tom now. He always wanted that.
Ellen, we found Jack's family in Cherbourg.
The place he came from wasn't Cherbourg, it was Cherbourg.
Really? What were they like?
They were good people.
His grandmother said Jack looked just like him, like his father.
He does. But they never came for him or asked about him.
They thought he was dead. His ship sunk. He'd always wanted to go to England.
Have you ever heard of the White Ship?
No.
The king's family drowned.
My father was there. He was the only one who survived.
Not for long.
You told me that he was accused of stealing a chalice.
Yes, but I know he was innocent. I heard the story and had to find out what he looked like. He told me his name. I fell in love. I helped him escape. But in the end, they caught up with us.
What happened then?
They hanged him. I was there. And you were there, Jack. But you weren't born yet. He was led to the gallows. Everyone was quiet. The people somehow knew he was not a thief. But I knew for sure. He told me. He was so afraid. He didn't want to die. I didn't want him to die. And I prayed. Then I heard his voice, quiet.
Sang sweeter than ever, as if the falling melody might wing and net dissever. At dusk the hunter took his prey, the lark his freedom never.
No! No!
You said that 3 men were responsible for Father's death.
Who were they?
The Sheriff of Shiring, Percy Hamley, Prior James of Kingsbridge, and Archdeacon Waileran Bygod. They showed no mercy. Neither did I. I curse you! All of you! He will return to haunt you! One day, you will be judged for what you did. Your houses shall be consumed by fire. Your life shall end in pain and agony. You shall grow old in sadness and regret. The people they killed will return to haunt them. I promised them.
We welcome our new prior, Remigius. He helped to recover the bones of the Saint of Kingsbridge, Adolphus, from the hands of thieves. Adolphus already rests safely in this great cathedral of Shiring. Our master builder Alfred promised me that it will only be a matter of a few years until the cathedral will be finished. And the Earl of Shiring has promised to support us. But he has not done so for himself. No, the Earl is not a selfish man. His mother, Lady Hamley, is sick. More and more, I feel the whole of England is suffering from a sickness. The sickness of war, poverty, and most of all, heathen beliefs. I have spoken to God. I asked him, begged him to walk amongst us, to heal us. But God told me that only when this great cathedral is finished will he have a temple to reside in. No matter the cost, this shall be a towering castle to protect us from evil and false beliefs. With this cathedral, we will bring an end to the dark times.
Waileran Bygod.
Jack, what are you doing here?
My father died by your hands, Waileran. His name was Jacques Cherbourg.
How dare you talk to the bishop like that?
He died right here.
Who are you?
I know that man. He's that bastard from Kingsbridge.
That man is my husband.
You?
All of you, listen to what we have to say. From now on, Kingsbridge is protected.
By our knights, by our walls, and by the word of the king.
So whatever you do, we will defend our town, our market and fulling mills.
And our cathedral, which we shall rebuild. All workers are invited to come and work for us.
Oh, preposterous.
If you so much as try to bring harm to us, Bishop, we will make sure that you pay for everything you did.
Tiens. On a fini 2 chapitres. Ben, je vais en profiter pour faire ma petite pause. Je vous dis à tout de suite pour le chapitre 17. Voici de retour. Ah ben voyons ce chapitre 17. Ça va, ce chapitre-là il était court, chapitre 16. C'est bon.
It had been 3 years. 3 years of drought. 3 years of hunger and poverty. England was brought to its knees. Only our walls had kept us safe from the bands of outlaws raiding towns and villages. Bishop Waleran and William Hamley forced the workers to finish their cathedral in Shiring. Many had died. The work on our own cathedral had almost come to a halt. 4 weeks the storm had raged on. It was then that our cathedral gave up its last secret. And everything changed.
Qu'est-ce qui fut changé?
Tom, I don't think you would have liked the sight of this. I don't think you would have liked the sight of this at all.
I know. You'd not planned the cathedral to be that high.
But I reinforced the walls, like in Saint Denis. The storm shouldn't be that much of a problem. But if it's not the storm, then what is it?
Le côté du mur est est sur le point de s'effondrer. Pourquoi? Voilà.
One day, people will fly, like birds, sailing on the wind. Rashid told me.
D'accord.
The roof looks all right. The vaulting is cracked.
En bois, quitter le toit, ça j'ai vu.
No, I don't want to break more stones loose. Over here, the vaulting looks weak. What would you have to say about this, Tom? Yes. If the vaulting was unstable, it could pull the wall inward and damage it. Especially with this storm putting pressure on the wall from the outside. We have to find out. If I widen these cracks, we'll see if our problem gets worse or not. I don't like it, but I'll have to fix it either way. If I make it worse, then we'll at least know what the problem is.
Be easier without this sand everywhere. All right. One more time.
One more time.
Ah. If the vaulting were unstable, this part would have collapsed and the wall would retract. The cause of the problem is not up here. Tom. What would you have done now? When we erected the Eastern Wall 17 years ago, there was also a crack. Yes. No matter what we did, it always came back. But this is not the same wall. We rebuilt it. But the cause could have been the same in both cases.
Le sol, la crypte, le cloître.
Ground is the same, but it had never been that dry. We had no problems with the rest of the walls. We took the stones from the same quarries, but the other walls don't have problems. No, we would have noticed. The cloister? It was there back when Tom's wall had a crack, and now this wall is unstable too. But it's too far.
Bah, y a pas le choix, y a la crypte.
The crypt! Huh? Yes, Tom. You kept the whole foundation there as it was. But it never had to carry this much weight before. That's it! The problem must be down there.
Je pensais pas à la crypte, moi, c'est vrai.
They were enraged. Bishop Henry thinks that the Pope should hear about what you wrote.
I think so too.
Philip, I really...
There is no need for you to worry. It is just...
The problem is that the people love your sermons. And what your book is being copied in priories.
Is that not a good thing, if our message gives people...
In desperate times, hope can be a...
That is very true.
Well, I fear the bishops. They might come to believe you took...
Huh. Do you?
Un deuxième livre de... Que vu que Dieu a créé l'homme à son image, nous portons tous une étincelle divine en nous. Et si nous avons parfois l'impression que Dieu nous a abandonnés, il en fait plus proche de nous que n'importe qui, car notre âme est de nature divine, ce qui signifie que l'homme ne doit pas attendre le salut de l'extérieur, mais que nous pouvons tous changer le monde qui nous entoure. Nous pouvons planter une graine et Dieu la fera ensuite pousser. Le message d'espoir de Philippe a été entendu dans toute l'Angleterre et même ailleurs en Europe, mais l'Église est très critique vis-à-vis de ce texte. Dans son premier livre, Philippe n'avait fait que critiquer les faux miracles. Maintenant, il semblait affirmer que tous les hommes étaient égaux face à Dieu et que les membres du clergé n'étaient pas plus proches de Dieu que tous les autres hommes, ce qui n'est pas très faux.
Jack!
Have you been atop the cathedral during the storm?
Don't worry, Philip. The storm isn't as bad up there.
You shouldn't be up there risking your life. Sally and Tommy have been asking for their parents all morning.
La laine travaille désormais possiblement à l'extérieur de Sherry, une plupart des toisons que le vent qui se bridge ou Jack contre deux moulins foulés. Okay.
The storm is tearing our east wall apart. If the storm works, I work. Jonathan, did you and the others come directly from Winchester?
Yes, we did.
What about Aliena?
She stayed a day longer for the... She should be on her way back now.
In this storm?
We didn't expect it to get...
No one did.
I am sure she'll be all...
I need to go. I think I know why the...
Yes? Why is that?
I'm not sure, but I think the answer lies down in the crypt.
La crypte, c'est... La crypte, elle est... Voilà. Oula, ça menace de se casser la gueule.
That definitely wasn't here before. The cause of the instability must be down here. Time to get to work.
Oui.
Rashid was right. People love to believe in miracles. But the reason most people come to Kingsbridge now, he tells them what they need to hear. He gives them hope. This is the spot. Let's find out what the real problem is. The old wall here, or what's behind it. Here we go.
Ah. Loupé.
Oh.
Ah.
Damn it. Dear God. These stones, they've been removed before. Whoever put them back just added some mortar on top of the stones to hide the fact that they were removed. The tile at the bottom was completely loose.
What does that mean?
I think it was an entrance.
An entrance? To where?
That's what we'll find out.
Careful now. You've got the whole east wall on top of you. Jack?
Jack? I'm all right. I just hit my head. It's dark in here. There's a whole room here. A chamber. I'll get a torch.
Philip, I'll get it. You stay here.
Is that a coffin? Oh, there's sand everywhere. Uh-huh. It's a bed.
What?
There's a bed in here.
What? Jonathan, we need that torch.
That's not wood. It's metal. Gold, even. Maybe Philip knows what this is.
Bon, il arrive avec cette torche, l'autre là.
Who slept here?
Parce que ça, j'ai vérifié. Grosse.
It's made of leather. It's a whip. What is that doing here?
I have the torch.
Ah bah non, t'as
All
mis le
right,
temps.
come in here. Should be safe.
Il a vraiment mis le temps.
Did you know about this place?
No. No, I did not. I have seen this chalice before, when I was very young. It's the chalice of the Eucharist from Kingsbridge Cathedral. Cuthbert told me about it. They said it was stolen.
And melted down, I know. Mother told me. They also said it was my father who did it.
Did they?
So he's innocent then?
He must be.
And whoever hid the chalice is responsible for his death. They hanged him in Shiring for stealing this chalice. But it was here all along.
That scourge, the whip. It belonged to Prior James. I was afraid of it when I first visited Kingsbridge with Francis and Abbot Peter. Even the look of it scared me.
James. Maybe it was him. I think I saw him during the night of the fire in the cathedral. When the old cathedral burned down. There was a man in the fire. His shoulders were bloody, as if he had chastised himself.
It is you! By God and the devil!
He told me that he had sinned, that he had done something to me. Perhaps because I looked like my father.
So he confessed for framing your father while he hid the cup here?
But it couldn't have been James you saw. James died weeks before the fire.
Did he? You said they never found his body. Maybe he hid down here. Maybe that's why the bed's here.
Wait. Jack, you were in the burning cathedral. What were you doing there?
And then I told Philip what I'd done. He just looked at me and didn't say anything.
Waileran, what do you want?
Do you think it is wise to resign yourself to gluttony at times like these, while your people starve on the streets of Shiring?
Don't play the saint. You promise them miracles, and you make them pay. But your miracles never work out, do they?
God works in ways that we cannot comprehend.
My mother cannot walk. You failed. Again. What do you want?
I came about a book.
The Bible again?
No. Philip of Gwynedd wrote it. And the church is displeased. Bishop Henry was enraged. This is our chance, William.
Your chance, you mean? If you need forces, talk to Walter or Ugly. I don't care. I built your fucking cathedral. I'm done.
It's not just about Philip. It's about Aliena and her family.
Don't mention that name.
But have you not heard? King Stephen and Maud's son just signed a peace treaty.
I don't care.
You should care.
I said I don't. Now leave and don't come back unless I ask for you. Where's my wife?
They've not returned yet, Lord William.
Then get me a whore! Now!
regardera ça plus tard.
I am sorry for intruding, but I must ask you for shelter. I was on my way from the Fleece Fair in Winchester to Kingsbridge and got caught in the storm.
Nasty, isn't it?
Yes. And it's getting worse and worse. Thank you for your hospitality.
Il a pas dit oui, hein.
Someone help me! Please! I need help!
Hello? Oh dear, are you hurt?
My horse! It fell! I can't move!
Take my hand! We'll get you inside! We'll only be here until it's safe to leave. We won't bother you. I'm Aliena. What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Breathe, Elizabeth. You're safe now.
Mm-hmm.
She took her in.
Should have let her die. We would all be better off without someone like her.
Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il a regardé? La vieille dame, la vieille manger, Elisabeth, fumée, porte, couverture, viande, paysan.
Hey, what are you going to do with that?
I'm just going to borrow it.
Let's try to get along until the storm passes.
I don't like this.
Hold your horses. We'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Hey, that's our blanket.
Can't you see she's freezing?
It's all right. It's just a blanket.
Blanquette. Blanquette de veau. Feu,
We don't have much, but always enough for a lost soul.
She doesn't deserve anything.
Take a bowl and go ahead.
I can't carry it in my bare hands.
Non, je sais bien. Feu, marmite.
What's she doing now?
I don't know. I think she's freezing. Maybe we should be kinder to her.
Pourquoi tu le ranges dans ta poche?
No, they don't deserve her kindness.
Shush, let her eat.
Thank you.
Just try to ignore him. I am.
Eat this. You must be hungry.
Thank you. That's nice of you.
Why are you giving her soup? Dirt. That's what she deserves for dinner.
What? Do you want her to starve?
Please, don't start a fight.
Oh, you're so kind. Many people would have let me die. People don't listen to... My entourage didn't even notice they lost me.
Who?
My husband and his entourage.
A fine husband you have.
Divorced? Oh, he's just been...
Maybe now you'll understand what loss and what you people are doing to us.
Stop bullying her!
Kiff.
How do they know you?
Oh, I'm used to it. He has to do a lot of things people don't. And sometimes they recognize me, too.
Wait. Is your husband the Earl of Shiring?
I thought you knew.
William Hamley.
Oh, please don't abandon... I swear, I'm not...
I used to know...
Really?
What's he like now?
I loathe him with all my heart. I had accepted the arrangement with good, but he had other plans. How do you know him?
We came from noble family. In fact, I was supposed to...
No!
I found him, so I refused.
You refused him?
It caused a lot of misery.
Oh, you're so correct. I can't even...
Don't act like you didn't have a hand in the death. For years he roamed across the country. He's no Earl. After all he's taken from us, we should take something from him, too.
She has nothing to do with this. Don't you dare touch her. Can't you see she's another one of his...
I'll give over.
Can you even imagine how it must... The abuse and the humiliation every single... I'm so sorry. Enough to know your pain.
Damn, where the hell am I supposed to tether this hook?
It's...
Listen. Use your status. It gives you power. People will get used to doing... Favor those who help, so people will recognize that it pays to oblige. And since Hamley is hated, they'll soon love you more than him.
You make...
That should do it.
Walter.
You. William would be very pleased if I...
No! Don't harm her! If it wasn't for her, I'd be dead. She saved me from the storm.
Did she now? Come on, we have to get back to the castle. We've lost too much time already.
Elizabeth stays with me.
No, she doesn't.
Thank you for saving me.
Come on now, we need to get going. William is waiting.
Dear Francis, the letters I have written to you over the years surely could be bound into a book, but only you know what my word. It is different with the book I have written. It has found its because of my book. I may have, but that is not the only thing that keeps me awake tonight.
Il a été rapide ces chapitres-là.
Behind a wall in our crypt, Jack discovered a hidden room. We do not know who built it, but it is likely that Prior James hid there, even after he was said to have drowned. That means he was alive when we met in Kingsbridge on New Year's Day, the day of his... And Jack told me he saw a man in the church. Then was that him? And if so, did he burn in the... The dust storm and the drought are taken. Thanks to our town wall, we are safe. We've heard of places nearby being raided. We believe the attack. We have enough food to last us another, but life... Martha believes there will be rain, so that the storm is only a harbinger. I hope that she is... Jonathan worries about my book. The Divine Soul. In Winchester, he heard that Bishop Henry was less than pleased by what I had written. I am not naive enough to pretend I do not know why. I wrote that hope is godly. And since God made Henry sells hope. And I am... If the church should ask me to clarify my position, but I feel I must give our people what... And how could I write anything else if this... It must be with you about what truly... Jack told me that he was responsible for the fire. I know that it was a long time. He told me he set fire to the roof so there would be work for his...
My God. The saint! We must save the saint! Fire! The whole roof is in flames!
My God!
Don't go in there! Adolphus! The saint! We must save him! No! No! Don't go!
Flashback.
And as horrible as it may seem, I cannot find it in... Maybe because this confession, and from a man who I have learned... This is... I should get some air, Francis. The storm has settled down. A magnificent cathedral, but I would have been more than content with the old one, had it not been burned to the ground.
vers chemin à l'arrière. Ça c'est pour rentrer.
If James died in that fire, then what happened to his remains? He was never properly buried, and that is Jack's fault. Hello? I thought I saw someone. That came from the kitchen.
Oh, it's you.
You startled me.
I thought I heard something. Was that you?
No, but I heard it too. Maybe Aliena came back.
No, she's asleep. She returned a few hours ago. Damn it.
Jack.
Sorry. There's someone in the kitchen.
Yes, I think you're right.
Stay behind me. I'll go ahead.
There's someone in here. Outlaws. They are probably just after food. I will talk to them. All right.
C'est bon?
Please, listen. We don't mean you harm.
Philip, be careful! Damn it! Philip, throw me a stone!
Oh putain! Ah merde! Oups!
No! Philip!
Merde! On peut recommencer? Oui, oui. Réessayer, oui. Oh, ça va être chaud là. Ah oui, là c'est... on va peut-être pas... Peut-être revenir à plusieurs.
No.
Ah, on n'a pas le choix. Donc on va mourir. Et vu la vitesse où il faut cliquer, ça va être chaud.
Please, listen. We don't mean you harm.
Philip, be careful! Damn it! Philip, throw me a stone!
Ah, c'est pas vrai. Ah, c'est chaud là.
No! Philip!
La vitesse où ça va, c'est chaud.
Please, listen.
Il faut que j'anticipe.
We don't mean you harm.
Philip, be careful! Damn it! Philip, throw me a stone!
Ouf, okay,
Jack, no!
J'ai cru que j'allais pas réussir.
It's him.
Brother Marcus.
Brother Marcus?
He took Cuthbert's keys to steal food here from the kitchen. Because of me, Remigius found out. And he left. We never saw him again.
Looks like he came back. You didn't mean for this to happen.
No, but...
What about him?
Don't be afraid. Ah! Why did you do that, you animal? I will get the others.
No!
What?
He's just a child.
Just a child. Jack forgave the child. Just like that. And I forgave him. For that was what he had been when he arrived in Kingsbridge. Just a child. Who was I to judge this man for not confessing earlier what he had done? I had never told his wife, Aliena, that I was responsible for her fate, and for her father's. Even that night, when we all met, I did not dare to...
Ah, je crois que j'avais bugué.
The walls of Kingsbridge weren't... The outlaws had found we weren't safe in our home.
So, Kingsbridge was attacked, and you two twigs were our only defense.
Why didn't Catman chase them away?
Sir Catface, Sally.
Now, this is not a scene.
We only saw two of them and one of...
But they almost killed you.
Our Earl of Shiring lets his people starve. With this drought, a just lord would help.
I should have stuck my blade into him when I was still
It is all too easy to blame a desperate child. Forgiveness is much harder.
Ah, c'est clair.
It is.
But forgive we must.
Can you? Forgive?
I already have.
Hamley is the reason for this. He's to blame.
Well, there's some good news at least. With the Treaty of Wellingford.
What treaty? Winchester is in turmoil about this right now. Stephen and Maud have signed the treaty. Maud's son, Duke...
And, by agreement, all lands are to be returned to their previous owners.
But Stephen will continue to rule as long as...
Meaning that the earldom will go to the next male heir of Lady Aliena's family. That would be you, Tommy.
What? It will not.
Why the bloody hell not?
Bloody hell.
Language? No one will enforce this until Stephen is dead.
What is to be done then?
Well, if they're hungry, can't we just give them something to eat?
I'll share.
We should, and we will, but there are too many to feed them all.
We must do something.
Well, I cannot sit quietly and wait until Stephen dies of old age. The Treaty of Wallingford is in place. I won't wait for another 17 years. Not when I'm so close to fulfilling the promise I made to my father.
True, but last night it wasn't that Hamley boy who attacked us. It was a bunch of thieving bastards.
Well, what do we do about it?
If we're smart, we could use them.
Use them?
It's been done before. If we set up the outlaws to assault William Hamley, it'd solve both our problems, wouldn't it? And while they're distracted bashing their heads in, we attack.
I won't have any of that.
What about his mother? I've heard that Hamley still listens to her, that she still has a say in Earl's Castle.
Yes, let's tell his mother.
If we spoke to Regan Hamley, we might not need a physical confrontation at all.
Speak to that wench? I'd rather let my blade do the talking. I say it's time we took back your father's castle by force. Even if I'd have to lead an army of outlaws.
I don't like either choice, to be honest.
Neither do I. So, what do you think, Aliena?
J'irai parler à Sir la Loi.
I will talk to the outlaws. Maybe we can find someone who can speak on their behalf. And if there's no one, then we will.
I'll ride with you.
You won't, Cub. Not with that leg of yours.
Your mother's right, boy. And too many gingers showing up at their cave might make them suspicious.
Ah, c'est dommage qu'il n'y a pas une sauvegarde, j'aurais bien sauvegardé là, moi.
Our hopes of meeting allies on the road to Shiring were fading with every mile. The only people we saw were sitting by the side of the road, broken and starving. Shiring was... I'd heard that Wigley had just been raided by outlaws, leaving them almost entirely without cattle. Maybe someone there knew where the raiders had come from. But Calf... As we reached Wigley, we met a farmer tending to a scrawny chicken. She told us that Hamley had claimed ownership of all their cattle. Some say they recognized the thieves, neighbors who had once lived among them. They were long believed. We entered the village. There was a weary young man trying to repair a roof. He pointed toward a ruined mill. That was until a few days ago. Hamley had come to collect his share and, due to the famine, was met with empty coffers. Enraged, he'd killed... The fields of Huntly spurred fond memories. Here, I'd negotiated my first deal to transport and sell the farmer's wool. Soon, we reached Uncle Simon's abandoned hut. Our horses needed rest, so we wanted to leave them there while we looked around on foot. Then, I asked him where he got bread in times like these. Was it stolen? No, I got it from the butcher. The people at Sally's quarry told me to ask the butcher. Before we could ask more, the frightened man jumped up and fled into the forest. The butcher.
À la prochaine sauvegarde, ça sera la fin du live.
The abandoned quarry was teeming with activity. Many poor souls were gathering around a fireplace, boiling a stew from meat and turnips. It was plain to see that these people weren't held together by blood or... The outlaws were using a moss-covered cave and little huts as shelter. Through the cave entrance, we could see stacked crates of goods, most likely stolen. The outlaws were of varying... All eyes darted towards us. Their reactions were as varied as their faces. Some looked... Where can I find the butcher? I asked. Their faces expressed anger and fear. I explained that we were looking for food. They told us that the butcher was still in Monksfield, but that meat would come every couple of days. I said that wouldn't be a problem, not knowing what they meant. Someone told us they got meat in Monksfield.
Oh dear, I hope you didn't come empty-handed. Only if you bring me an animal, then I can prepare it for you. A horse, maybe?
Where on earth would you find horses that aren't mounts?
Do people call you the butcher then?
There is much truth in your words, but...
Why'd you ask? What do you want?
Do you have a lot of outlaws passing by?
You don't see it in their faces.
I asked because we feel the same, and we're looking for a way to make things...
Is that so?
We're looking to build an army to invade Earl's Castle.
Oh my. If it was that easy, the poor souls I meet, they're just...
We would lead them.
In their condition, most of them can barely kill a chick.
We'd reward them if they helped us.
She and her son are the rightful heirs to the title of Earl.
So, you're just another pair of nobles who want to use us as pawns in their...
It is the best chance we have. This is a battle for the sake of the people of Shiring, for all of us.
It's rubbish. It's what it is.
We are offering you a chance to rid the land of...
The last time I saw you, you showed I am willing to listen to a good soul, but I won't...
That woman that was here, that you helped, that was Hamley's wife, his wife, by...
Right, it's a trap.
Well, how can these people put their life...
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, I know what it's like to live in poverty. But I also know that if one fights the right...
But they're starving, my child. Who are you to think you can...
Yeah. You! Who do you think you are?
I am the daughter of Bartholomew, Earl of Shiring. My father ruled with a benevolent...
Well, better than now, but that's easy.
He did have guts, though, trying to take on Stephen.
So you are his daughter, you say?
All I know, I learned...
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Mm-hmm.
Even if we work together, Hamley is too powerful.
You ask us to sacrifice our lives for your noble cause, these people will die.
We already have Kingsbridge on our side, including the bright mind of Prior Philip.
Oh, Philip of Kingsbridge. I have heard of him. A wise man, yes.
He took in the survivors of Hamley's raid of Earl's Castle.
Yes, and I was one of them.
He wouldn't let anybody go into certain death. Their plan must be a good plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
I said it before. We don't fight other people's battles.
But maybe this is our battle.
My people will decide for themselves. But I will tell them that I believe that it is indeed a battle worth fighting.
I thank you.
I pray that it will be worth it.
We will all pray, and then we fight.
And so, after 17 years, I finally returned to the place I'd once called home. There was a small army of famished outlaws hiding in the surrounding woods, waiting for my signal to attack. Led by my loyal knight, Sir Catface. But I had to be sure that Elizabeth was safe. The poor girl who in my stead had been doomed to become William Hamley's wife.
Get in line and stay in line. You'll all get your chance to pay your dues to Lord Hamley, you hear? So no pushing.
He's got...
Shut it, woman. Smear your face with dung and lower your head. It's the only way you get out of here alive. It's no coincidence that Hamley always asks for women to bring the tributes.
Oh, shut up.